thoughts to Ireland once more because the census from April 2021 has finally been published, and that was overdue. Shows you the lassitude of much of the UK government. But anyway, the takeaway from this one with regards to Northern Ireland is for the very first time, Catholics outnumber Protestants. So this is notable. Now, I didn't say Roman Catholics are the majority, because of course, well, we're not, and Protestants have not been the majority for some time. So I mean a plurality, which is to say they're the largest group, but they were still under 50% for some time. They fell under 50% a decade ago, easily. So anyway, Northern Ireland obviously remained in the United Kingdom in 1921, when the major portion of Ireland, about 80% of Hibernia's territory, left the UK, formed the Irish Free State, which subsequently transmogrified into the Republic of Ireland, which it is today. I mean, I'm not from Northern Ireland, from the Republic. Anyway, so this decline has been on the cards for decades. People have been saying it more or less since the partition of Ireland. It did happen very slowly, partly because Catholics had a slightly higher birth rate than Protestants. Well, it was maybe significantly higher at times, maybe in the 60s, but it sort of leveled off to be just fractionally higher. There are other factors. Northern Ireland's got a very high university participation rate, almost 60% of youngsters going to university. Protestants are more likely to go to university in Great Britain than Catholics are, and then these young Northern Irish Protestants, having graduated there, quite often don't return. They remain in Great Britain. So that's another factor. There's also immigration, because notice that if we're saying someone's Catholic or Protestant, we're not necessarily there saying they are Northern Irish. I mean, they could move from the Republic or anywhere else, but they're also Polish Catholics who've moved in, and the Poles are Catholics almost to a man. But of course, there's those who don't identify with either denomination. About 11% of people are neither Catholic or Protestant, sometimes have no religious affiliation, or they're from minor religions like Hinduism or Islam. Now it's no secret that there is a correlation between being a Catholic and being a nationalist, and being a Protestant and a unionist. But correlation does not equal predestination. And the thing is, the Protestant tendency towards unionism is very pronounced. The Catholic tendency towards nationalism is weaker. So people say, well, what if there were a border poll, repeat of, I think it was 1973, so half a century onwards, people of Northern Ireland, do you wish to remain within the United Kingdom or leave the UK and merge into the Republic of Ireland? But were that held, it's very likely the Unionists would win. So if you go back to before Brexit, it's astonishing. Something like 60% of Catholics in Northern Ireland wanted to remain in the UK, even though few of them voted for the Ulster Unionist Party or the DUP. A few of them voted for the Alliance Party. So often, SDLP voters, bizarrely, wanted to be in the United Kingdom, despite that being against the programme of the SDLP. Even 16% of Sinn Féin voters wanted to stay within the United Kingdom. Might seem counterintuitive, as Sinn Féin was committed for a decade, for a century, forgive me, for doing absolutely anything, no holds barred, towards blowing Northern Ireland out of the UK and fusion with the Republic of Ireland, then revolutionising the Irish Republic. But that didn't happen. Anyway, but nevertheless, this is a bit of a boost for the nationalist parties. Brexit has been a game changer. People who are nominal nationalists who would say be willing to be part of the United Kingdom, largely that's changed. There's a Northern Ireland Project, there might be some friction over that, especially if Liz Truss is injudicious enough to unilaterally terminate it. Anyway, then you look at identity. 29% of people in Northern Ireland say they're Irish only, not British, not Northern Irish. Okay, there are people who see themselves as Irish and British. People see themselves as British only, Northern Irish and British. I mean, then we sometimes talk about Ulster. Ulster is often coterminous with Northern Irish, but used accurately, Ulster alludes to 9 counties, whereas Northern Ireland's only got 6. But how much is a united republic worth to nationalists? Well, I think less than €50. That's about how much you have to pay to see the GP. Colm Eastwood, the leader of the Social Democratic and Labour Party, the more moderate Nationalist Party, said, his mother said that much as she wants to integrate the North into the Republic, she is not going to pay to see the GP. You could have all three. So identity is a complex and multi-layered thing. It's really just the chauvinists, the hyper-nationalists, the ethno-nationalists who say, no, it's clear cut. So there's a distinguishability continuum. There's how else to put it? It's a fuzzy concept. Nationality is notable for its indefinability. So things have changed. What's my opinion of the Commonwealth losing interest in the Commonwealth? I don't think particularly, but obviously it's far too early to take a reading to say whether people are losing an interest in the Commonwealth. Forgive me, His Majesty King Charles III is head of the Commonwealth, which is not a hereditary position. The Commonwealth didn't have to choose him, but the Queen persuaded the Commonwealth leader several years ago to vote that when she was called to her award, that her firstborn, that he would become head of the Commonwealth automatically. It's not guaranteed it happens in another generation. They could choose someone else. I mean, years ago, saying maybe they choose Nelson Mandela. Obviously, he died about 9 years before the Queen. Anyway, so Northern Ireland, we shall see. Nothing's on the cards immediately. Even Sinn Féin don't call for an immediate border poll because I suppose they're not confident. If they're to call that border poll and to lose it, they feel it would kill the issue for a generation. David Trimble years ago was saying, let's have a border poll and then we'll deal with it once and for all, get it out of the way. That's it. So if the UK government has said for almost 100 years, if the major portion, if Northern Ireland wishes to leave the UK and join the Republic of Ireland, then fine, we will expedite that. We'll not stand in the way. But so that might have happened anyway. Now it looks a bit more likely than it was. The thing is, unionism leads to win over lots of Catholics and fast. And the best thing for unionism to make it more acceptable to Catholic people is to dissolve these loyal orders, such as the Orange Order, the Apprentice Boys of Derry, and stuff like that. They seem to be moribund anyway. Very few people are joining them. There's also the decline of religiosity. Although people might be nominal Catholics or titular Protestants or whatever, church going has declined. Even as part of someone's identity, it's lost saliency. So, and as certainly edges come off sectarian relations. So, how things have improved. But yeah, anyway, if Brexit were reversed, that would change things. Republic of Ireland were the North to leave the UK and merge into the Republic of Ireland, then that would be we'd have to give them a big subvention of the North. That'd be a heavy burden to bear, but surely we'd be willing to do so. As the Republic of Ireland per capita, about the fifth richest country on earth, which is really an extraordinary success. So these statistics weren't really surprising, and the majority of Belfast school children were Catholic for some years already. The thing is, this Catholic advantage in numbers is going to continue creeping up for some time, and it may level off in a few decades. So unionism is not necessarily in trouble, but it needs a bit rethink. It needs to be an inclusive, forward-looking unionism. It doesn't. It should not be regressive and backward-looking and exclusionary. All right. Thank you so much for watching my video. So please subscribe on Patreon, donate on PayPal, georgecallahan79@gmail.com. Bye.